Hi guys, I am Melissa Ryan. Welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of addiction. I want to talk about food now. Again, this is something I have a lot of personal experience with. There was a long time I was addicted to food. And I do believe I pulled myself out of the trap. And I can say how incredible it is to be freed from it. Because food is something you need to survive. But this world has completely fucked up the meaning of food, what food is, how to feed ourselves. It's been completely warped. And a lot of people have food issues. A lot of people, I believe in accepting all body types. But the percentage of the world, I could even say for America, I think 2/3 of America is obese. I've studied face reading, I've studied body symbolism. There are some people who are meant to be heavier and they just generally carry weight. I'm not saying that, but the people who are uncomfortable with their weight, the people who feel foreign in their bodies, the people who even have beautiful bodies, to their standards beautiful, or to conventional standards beautiful, and they're throwing food in their bodies because they're addicted. It's something to talk about. It's absolutely something to talk about. Symbolically, eating is nurturing yourself. So if you're overeating, I think it means you're lacking proper care for yourself. Maybe you view yourself in a bad light. I viewed myself in a very bad light for a couple years. I'd always been very interested in health. Always wanted to lose weight too. The period where it was most intense, I want to say, was about 19, 20, 21, 22. This was pre-vegan and after vegan, where I didn't like myself. I hated the way that I looked. And I did some pretty awful things to try and fix that. There were times where I just wouldn't eat for days, or I might eat like just an apple for like a day, like, carry on as long as I could. But then there were times where I would buy so much food, possibly steal so much food, sit in front of the television and just stuff it all down my body. And it was like, it's really sad to think about how my life used to be, because I think of all the time that I spent, like, I used to wake up and without even thinking about the day, or I would just like automatically go to the mirror, take off all my clothes and just stare at myself. Like, did I lose any weight overnight? Do I look a little bit thinner than yesterday? Do I look heavier than yesterday? It was exhausting. It was horrible. I remember it so well because it was the time where I had moved out of the house and I was like living on my own and I was feeding myself, and I had become a vegan, and that was kind of difficult starting out, and it was just, I really shut myself away. I really did. There were times where I would just stay at school and just stay on the library and like and I would just stay on the internet for hours and hours, because if I knew if I went home, I would just eat. And I would purposely not bring any money with me to school, so I'd have no way of feeding myself. And it was like, this is how I was like in college. When you're spending thousands of dollars on your education, and like, this is my mentality, this is what I'm thinking about. I was like running up and down the stairs. But more than that, in another video I do talk about the importance of cooking. I do want to say though that, I mean, you walk into a supermarket, 99% of that food is packaged. That means 99% of the food is handled by someone else, put together by someone else who runs a huge company whose aim is to make money from you. They want you to buy their products. They can put chemicals in their product that make you want their food, that make you think about their food, that make you go crazy for their food. 100%. And it's like a losing fucking game if you play it their way, you really do. I talk a lot about my health. My health was failing. I had to do a lot to get my health in gear, to get my life in gear. And really, I found that cooking makes everything better. It makes everything better. I have to charge my computer before it runs out. I've got crystals sitting in my lap. Give me 1 second. Adapter. %, that's so low. Saved. Okay. Companies put shit in their food to make you want it. And you just buy it. You really do. Food wasn't always like this, but it certainly is now. Genetically modified foods, and God, I think cheese just on its own is more addictive than cocaine. I read that somewhere. My sister essentially gave up veganism for cheese. But yeah, being addicted to food, I think, results from lack of self-care, lack of liking yourself, lack of loving yourself. I was just watching something about how a girl had food issues, and she realized it really spiraled down to the fact that she didn't get really like attention from her father. Personally, for me, computer's being a little funny. It was never my father, it was my mother. I wanted validation from my mother. Personally, I felt like I was expected to succeed in all the ways the world really wants you to succeed. We've talked, and she's not like that now, but I was under that impression growing up. And I think when I was finally on my own, I was just really scared of failure. And I really took it out on myself. I really did. I tell myself I love myself all the time. I absolutely believe it. In the beginning, I didn't. It's been such a long road. I mean, I'm 29 now. So thinking about when I was 20, it's just... And even now, I'd love to lose some weight. I really would. But it's so different from how it used to be. I remember so clearly how it used to be. I have this really vivid memory of just lying up at night, trying to put myself to sleep, but I was so hungry. And there was like this huge cupcake in the fridge, and I could not think of anything other than this fucking cupcake. Sugar is fucking addicting. They put sugar in everything. But it was just, God, it was such it's such an awful memory thinking, because like I was crying. I never ate that cupcake, but I remember I wanted it so fucking badly. And it shouldn't be like that. But yeah, the companies, they really make you addicted to sugar. I gave up soda when I was about 17. It might have been before, maybe earlier before, just right after. I was working in a restaurant when I only gave up soda like just to get skinny. Like there was no health reason behind it. I wasn't really thinking that way when I was 17. But I did remember reading this article. It was like a printout that my mom gave me. And it explained what soda was, what soda did to your body, the uses for soda, like how you can like clean blood off cement, and that's what the police do. I took that article to my manager. I was working at like a fast food restaurant, Friendlies. I was just like, we can't serve soda here. Like, look what it does to people. Like, how could we serve this here? And I just remember she just laughed at me. She was making herself a salad and putting on the craziest amount of blue cheese. And I liked blue cheese back in the day, but this was a lot of blue cheese. She was just like, Melissa, we can't take soda off the menu. So what do you think, you know? What are you thinking? But that's the kind of world we live in. It is accepted to pour acid down your throat because it tastes good. And really, it doesn't taste good. Because after you put yourself off for even a few months, you'll taste it again, and all you taste is chemicals. I haven't had soda in years. But God, I urge you to take yourself off it. Yeah, but food addiction... Tell yourself you love yourself. Cook yourself a meal that you want to eat and tell yourself you deserve that meal. And just find ways to love yourself, to celebrate yourself, and nourish your body with good foods. You know the type of foods that you should eat. And just ride the path to recovery, because, you know, it feels amazing. It really does. It feels amazing, and it's so worth it. I don't miss any of that shit at all. You don't have to either. Thank you for listening. I want to go into a part 4. My internet is so backed up. I'm on actually 2 different frames, but I'm on my computer. It's messing with me. But anyway, thanks for listening, guys. See you soon.